Okay, people, so Bight. This is the new film from Maiara Walsh. She directs, she co-writes the film with Cameron Cowperthwaite. Cowperthwaite? I think that's how you pronounce it. I might be wrong. Maria also produces the film along with Yori X, Stephen Moffat. I'm not sure if that's Sherlock Doctor Who Moffat, but maybe, right? Mark Hapka also is a producer on the film, as well as Cameron Cowperthwaite. It is executive produced by Emilio Nunes. We have our score from Eric Desterio, Petros Antonidis, and Devon Dadoun take care of cinematography. Cameron Cowperthwaite and Mark Hapka also edit the piece. Right, we've got Samantha Tanzi on hair and makeup. Who else? Yori X was on visual effects. We got Gary Michael Johnson, who did the original song for the film, which is, yeah, the song's all right. The song's all right, you know what I mean? Yeah, that is the people behind the camera. In front, right? So we have got, right, Maria, she plays Charlie. Her husband, Atticus, is played by Cameron Cowperthwaite. Then the other couple involved, we got Sebastian, played by Mark Hapka, and Naomi, his wife, played by Maya Stojan. And Cassandra Skirbo is Adriana. So yeah, that's our cast. Right? Now, the gist of the film, because that's what it is. Okie dokie. Well, two couples daring foray into open relationships leads down a tumultuous path of jealousy, betrayal, and emotional devastation. Well, I don't know, right, if this is their first foray. You know what I mean? Like, when you watch the film, it's like, I don't think it's the first foray. Okay? But, yeah, the rest is definitely one of those things, right? Now, we do have a director's statement. Okay, so in a world where relationship dynamics are rapidly evolving, I was drawn to explore the growing trend of non-monogamy, the delicate balance between trust, desire, and the illusion of freedom. Every relationship functions within its own set of rules and boundaries. Bight asks what happens when those boundaries are tested or broken. Is it worth the cost? With this film, we wanted to venture into the danger of emotional and physical surrender, examining the fragile architecture of the unseen threads that bind us. This is not a film you watch with your parents. No, it is not. It is meant to provoke, to unsettle, and to leave audiences with more questions than they had walking in. I believe a director is only as strong as their team. Mark Hapka's talent as an actor and his ability to execute as a producer were essential in carrying this film across the finish line. I had wanted to collaborate with Cameron Cowperthwaite for years. His quick wit and sharp instinct for dialogue made our writing partnership easy. And we completed the first draft in just 2 months. Maya Stojan, who embodies Naomi, smoulders in every frame. Every person who contributed to this project elevated it with their skill, commitment, and creativity. We are thrilled Skatera and Rosner have joined the Bight team. Their passion, precision, and willingness to take on this dangerous indie speak to the boldness of the story we set out to tell. And this is definitely an interesting one, right? I didn't know what to expect when Scott passed me this one, right? Because I don't know, in the indie world you get a lot of interesting stuff, right? When sometimes people say they're pushing the boundaries, sometimes it's just, so you never know. And this is the feature directorial debut from Maiara Walsh, right? So there is that as well. But this is a really well put together film. I definitely will say that, right? Like, it opens up and I don't know, I wondered what was going on at first, right? You're thinking, oh no, and then you realize, okay, so no. Then I was just like, yo, was it heavy this month? Right? Is it that? And then you're like, I don't know, right? I don't know. But then we get into a little bit further into the film and you think, okay, I know what that was, right? You think, oh, and you're like, oh, that's what that must have been. Ooh, that's rough, right? That's rough. But then later on you realize, oh, it was something completely different. But what also with the opening, well, I mean, we do at the beginning, like with the credits, we get this montage of I forget what the rope thing is called, right? It's got the Japanese name, but we get kind of a montage of that type of thing. People in submissive situations, you would probably say. So you have that, which is very stylized and slickly put together, along with the music and everything. But this opening kind of scene that we are thrown into, because it's bright, kind of, right? But there's a starkness to it, right? There's kind of like, it feels a little sanitized. And although you have, people in the scene, there is this kind of aloofness, kind of separation still, right? But with the yearning to break through that. So we have that. But then we jump, right? And so we're with this couple and, she's like, it looks like they're looking to go somewhere, but she's on the phone, right? She's on the phone. He's, we're with Atticus and Charlie, right? She's talking to one of her clients. He's doing stuff, but it's like there's more stuff that they're looking to do, right? And from that, right, you can see the interesting dynamic because she's busy, right? he's he's making a few little comments that you're just like, right? And then you get the whole, oh, well, I don't want to drive, but if you really want me to, you know what I mean? That kind of like, don't ask me to do this shit. If you do, I'm going to be super pissed and I'm going to make your life a misery, right? It's kind of that kind of tone, but they're going to see friends. It seems Charlie's more kind of down to go. Now, I think there are reasons why, which we do learn. But this is like, it's a, you know, a very close kind of shot, right? They're in a car, they're driving, and we're close up to them. And I think from that moment, once they get to where they're going, we do get a darker film, right? A darker film visually, but then a darker film tonally as well, right? Because they are, you know, entering into something a little bit edgier, a little bit more, that at that moment we're not quite sure what's going down. But like, I think you get a sense that wherever they're going, something is going to happen, right? You feel there's going to be something that throws people together in ways that maybe not everyone's down with, right? So it's, definitely shot in a way to kind of evoke kind of sensuality, but with edge, like a little danger. You know what I mean? You're given all of these kind of things, and our performances, right? Because the more we learn about the characters, the more the performances do sing and work, because it's just like, okay, yes, of course they're gonna be like that, right? Because you know what I mean, they're carrying all of this stuff, so yeah, they're gonna have that kind of tone, that kind of, you know, approach to things. So everything does make sense, right? We get these kind of things that are flirted at, and we also get a lot of kind of flirting, right? And I think it's interesting because what we see is, right, like, and I think we see it a lot, right? Whenever non-monogamy is talked about and open relationships and all of this malarkey, there does always seem like an imbalance, right? Everyone always talks about it's equal, we both do. But then you do always realize that one is more than the other. And I think we are seeing that within the film, within these characters' interpretations of said deals that have supposedly been made. And I think the actors do a really good job of like breaking down these emotions to their core essence, right? Because you've got to believe in, you know what I mean, the machinations of like certain people. You know what I mean? Like this thing would evoke this sort of emotion in them. So we definitely get that, you know, we do. And I thought it's definitely well done. I think I don't know, when I'm watching it, I was suspecting certain things to go down that did go down. But then it does definitely go to a place where I'm just like, okay, right. You know what I mean? I thought it was going to go here. You decided to go there. Right. Okay. So that's always good. That's always a good thing. You don't want things to be completely predictable, completely as you see. There is just one thing with this that does, I did think it was a little bit disappointing. And that's just one of the characters. The it's difficult sometimes to talk about certain things because you do not want to give anything away. But let's just say one of the characters, the way they decide to navigate things, it felt like they would possibly do something else, right? You feel something else is warranted, let's just say. So that felt a little bit like, I do think where the film goes to at the end, you are left with the sense that repercussions weigh, right? The choosing certain things doesn't necessarily lead to happiness and fulfillment. So I thought the ending definitely spoke to that, which is good. You know what I mean? Like with something like this, you feel that it's always going to be that, right? And we've had things like, like back in the day when you think about, what you had, Basic Instincts, Sliver, 9.5. They're the big ones that I guess, probably jump to mind when people think about erotic thrillers. Now, just last year, we had Compulsion, right, from Charlotte Kirk and crew, which was a good, definitely like thriller action piece. And it's interesting the fact that I think we're seeing an upkick in these things, which is, yeah, like if you've got good stories, I think everyone's here for them, and especially like if you were just gonna do that same old thing, you know what I mean, like the Niner, like Basic Instinct, right, Bunny in Pot, all of that kind of business. That gets a little bit like it's hard to buy, right? It's hard to buy. So doing something interesting and different, that's everyone's here for that, right? And I think when you have something like this, right, like Bight, where it ventures into this thing that we all know about, right? But I think oftentimes, especially when you're seeing things on TV, like documentaries about it all and everything like that, everyone wants to go, hey, everything is great. Like, we're all happy. You know what I mean? But it's all about the boundaries. It's all about the rules, It's all about the rules. But the problem is, do you all have the same interpretation of the rules? That's it, right? That's the big one. So yeah, that's what makes Bight interesting. And as I said, like the production level of it, right? The way they decided to, shoot it. And throughout, we do get some kind of resonance to past events, which, makes it even more interesting, right? Because you understand where people can go, right? So it's just that then adds to what might be on the cards or isn't on the cards, you know what I mean? So yeah, they did it really well. The cast do a fantastic job, as I said, in their roles. They're very believable in these characters. You know, I think everything that you see, you buy, right? The only, as I said, like the only thing I don't necessarily is one person's thought process. Other than that, yeah, you buy it all. You do buy it all. So great job from the peoples. You know what I mean? I think they told a good story, man. And I appreciate Scott for, you know what I mean, sending this through. Because yeah, I thought, yeah, I thought Bight is well worth a watch. As I said, don't maybe sit down with your parents and watch it, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely, you know, a different type of story, and shit goes down. Shit definitely goes down, right? So for a feature directorial debut, Maiara, man, does a fantastic job. Does a fantastic job. And I will say, with the dialogue, yeah, you buy it. You buy the interactions and, you know, things that are said and all of that kind of thing. So, yeah, if you want something interesting, if you're looking for a thriller, right? An unconventional thriller, then, yeah, people, give Bight a look.